Hi there, folks. This is Gord, the fuzzy cook guy here. I made banana bread which was made with almond flour and honey in it instead of using flour and sugar. I find when we use honey in our desserts when we're making it, we don't need as much honey as we do sugar. So I've cut back a little bit on how much honey I put into this recipe because don't need that much for the sweetness. Honey is slightly sweeter than sugar, so um, I find that I've been doing a lot of things with almond flour and honey and buckwheat and honey. I'll have to show you a recipe next week on how I use buckwheat and honey together. It'll probably be a buckwheat lemon brownie. They taste great. Anyways, on with this week's video and this week's banana bread almond flour French bread loaf I made. Here we go. Okay. So here's the finished product, that what it looks like, the almond flour banana bread. This is what I started off with. I started with 3 bananas, which is about a cup of bananas mashed, 3 large eggs, a quarter cup of honey, quarter cup of melted butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, and quarter teaspoon of salt. I use 2.5 cups of almond flour and a half cup of arrowroot flour. So here I've just mixed up all the dry stuff into one bowl, and I'm going to blend it together. Just 1 sec here. Here we go. We're just going to blend all these dry ingredients together, which is the cinnamon, the baking soda, baking powder, the salt, and the almond flour. Just blend it all together nicely so it looks good and all incorporated. And I also add the arrowroot flour. Okay, so that looks good. So now I'm going to take the big bowl. First I'm going to add my vanilla to the eggs and mix it up and throw it in this big bowl here. So what I'm going to do here next is I'm going to take the flour mixture and the banana mush and slowly incorporate the two together. Oh, melted butter too. I add the melted butter and the honey first. So I just used a quarter cup of honey in this recipe, and I found that was more than enough sweetness for this bread. Oops, sorry there. Okay, now I'm just going to blend these together. Get it all nice and blended and whipped up nicely. Now I'm going to put in some of this dried ingredients, mix it up a bit. Just get it blended up a little bit, and then make it look a little blended all together a bit. Now I'm going to add in some of the mashed bananas. Incorporate that. Now I'm going to probably dump in the rest of this, dump in the rest of the bananas, and then incorporate all this together. So I have a 9x5 pan already set up beside me. I've lined it with parchment paper, and I gave a little bit of a spray on the parchment paper. I use avocado oil spray for my baking with. So this, oh, and I add some dark chocolate to all this. Not a lot, just a little bit. So now it's all incorporated. Now I'm going to bring over the 9x5 pan and get a spatula here, trusty little spatula. And I'm going to pour this all into here. I have a oven is already preheated to 350 degrees to make this, bake this. Scooped it all in there. There we go. It's all set up, ready to go. Looks good. Looks a little too much, but we should be all right. Now I'm going to stick it in the oven, and it's going to go in there for 50 minutes to an hour. So here we go. Now this is finished, what it looks like after it's done. Kind of spilled over a little bit on the edge. So, oh well. And I've cut a couple pieces here, and this is what it looks like after it's done. So that's what it looked like after it was done. We've tried a couple pieces. It tasted really good. And we also did something else with it this week. We made French toast out of it and baked it in the frying pan and made it into French toast banana bread. Wow, did that taste good. Turned out really nice. Anyway, it's just an idea. You guys all have a good day. Enjoy the video. Thank you. Bye.